Faith. A word we hear often, yet it carries a weight that can't fully be measured by definitions or doctrines. It lives somewhere deeper, pulsing quietly beneath the surface of our lives. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. These words from Hebrews 11:1 paint faith as both invisible and unshakable. Confidence in what we hope for, assurance about what we cannot see. Think about that for a moment. So much of our lives are tethered to what's visible, to what's measurable, proven, within reach. Faith asks us to lean beyond that, into the unseen. But how do you believe in what hasn't arrived yet? How do you hope when life feels uncertain or when you've been let down before? Faith is not blind optimism. It's not pretending everything will work out exactly as we want. It's more like standing in the dark, holding on to the belief that morning will come, even if we can't see the horizon. Consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word about Christ. Romans 10:17 reminds us that faith has a source. It grows not in isolation, but through something, someone greater than ourselves. Hearing the message, the word about Christ. There's something humbling here. Faith doesn't spark from sheer willpower or self-determination. It's born from connection, from listening, from taking in words that have the power to shift our hearts when we feel stuck. And isn't this true, even in the everyday? A story, a song, a simple sentence? Sometimes they reach us in ways logic can't. Faith grows in the same way. It comes through moments of hearing, not just with our ears, but with our souls. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. Hebrews 11:6 offers a sobering truth, but also an invitation. Faith isn't optional if we want to draw close to God. It's the heartbeat of that relationship, the belief that He is and that He sees those who seek Him. But earnestly seeking can feel like a tall order when life is chaotic, when prayers go unanswered, when doubt whispers louder than hope. This verse doesn't promise easy faith. It doesn't ignore the struggle of moments when God feels distant, but it does remind us that faith is noticed, that seeking, even through tears, even in frustration, is seen and rewarded. Sometimes the reward isn't what we expect. It may not be the resolution we imagined, but often the reward is God Himself, a quiet reassurance, a presence that steadies us, even when the questions linger. For we live by faith, not by sight. 5 simple words from 2 Corinthians 5:7. Yet they hold a tension most of us wrestle with every day. We live in a world that prizes what can be seen, the tangible, the concrete, the provable. And yet, this verse flips that perspective. Faith asks us to live differently, to walk with trust, even when we can't see the whole road ahead. It's a vulnerable way to live, to take a step without knowing where the next will land. But faith is often like walking in fog. One step at a time, no guarantees of what's beyond. And yet, in those moments, something shifts. When we stop relying on sight alone, we notice other things, whispers in the silence, a stillness that guides. Faith may not show us the entire path, but it gives us just enough light for the next step. Mark 11:24 brings a bold promise. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. At first glance, it sounds almost too simple. Ask, believe, receive. But faith doesn't treat prayer like a transaction. It's not about bending God's will to match our desires. This verse points to something deeper, a kind of trust that's hard to find in a world full of doubt. The kind of belief that prays not from fear of losing, but from trust that God knows what's best. Believing we've received doesn't mean we'll always get what we want. It means trusting that what we do receive, whether it's an answer or silence, whether it's the yes we hoped for or a no we didn't expect, will be for our good. And then there's a parable wrapped in a single sentence. Matthew 17:20, because you have so little faith. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. A mustard seed. Tiny, almost insignificant. And yet Jesus chooses it as the measure of profound potential. There's something deeply comforting in this. Faith doesn't have to be grand or perfect. It doesn't have to come with certainty or confidence every moment of every day. Even the smallest flicker of belief, the seed that feels fragile and almost too small to matter, can move mountains. Because faith isn't about what we can do. It's about what God can do through us. Mountains may not always move the way we expect. Sometimes they shift slowly, or in ways we don't see until we look back. But even the act of believing, even when our faith feels small, has power. Faith isn't easy. It asks much of us. Trust in the unseen, hope in the waiting, courage to take the next step when the road ahead is unclear. But faith also offers a quiet strength, a way of living not bound by fear, but by trust. It's not about perfect belief. It's about showing up even with doubts in hand and choosing to walk forward anyway. It's the assurance that we are not navigating life alone, that even when answers feel distant, we are seen. Faith doesn't remove the storms, but it anchors us through them. Amen.